Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today, I'm here to remind you not to give up. Whatever is showing up for you, super obstacles are popping in your way, or things are just not working out the way you think they should, or in the time frame you think they should, don't give up. Maybe take a break, take a breath, recharge, and change the direction you're going, but never give up. Never give up on yourself. You are so awesome. And I say this with so much love because this is coming from a place where I did give up on myself. I've actually given up on myself quite a bit, and especially in one area of my life. There's a lot of areas I have never given up on myself, but there's one. I also know how easy it is to you just want to throw in the towel. It's just so much easier than just keep going towards a dream, towards a goal. And it's just like, oh, it's not happening, so you just throw in the towel. I would like to share a story with you. Now, this story doesn't actually have a happy ending yet. However, I feel like it's been brought to my attention in this aha moment in my life to share with you. And hopefully it inspires you or motivates you. And maybe you don't have to go down the same path I did. I was, releasing weight that I no longer wanted or needed. And I felt like I was finally figuring out my body and how to let the weight go naturally, with love. And then it didn't. It stopped. I was actually part of this support group or motivation group to help. And I actually stopped going on there. I stopped sharing. I was just like, whatever, what you're doing is not working for me. And I really looked at it a negative way. And it was like an all or nothing, oh, this isn't working anymore. And what did I do? Instead of looking at other solutions, I got so frustrated that I threw in the towel. I was just like, that's it. My hands were up in the air. I'm like, I'm done with you. And I was done with me, in the way of trying anymore. I looked at it as everybody in my family was just eating whatever they wanted. And I was so over doing that, focusing on eating healthy and things like that. Fun fact, eating healthy isn't about weight loss. It's a great benefit, but I'm now in a place, thankfully, that I look at food in a different light again. I look at moving my body in a different light. So this isn't about me, I'm sharing this story to hopefully help motivate you or inspire you in some way. I went on my own journey through this. So this isn't me trying to, put even weight loss onto you. This is just my story is based on weight loss, but this can be for any area in your life. Because when have you wanted something so badly and you're working towards it? Yeah, it's hard work, but you all of a sudden stumble on something, or you see other people, doing something else, or you compare yourself to other people, and then you're just like, that's it, I'm done. It happens, and I'm sharing this with you because, I want you to know that you're not alone. So mine is based on my weight loss journey, but this, again, could be for any area of your life. It could be so many different things, like going back to school, going after a big dream that you have in your heart that you want, but then obstacles keep coming up. All right. So I gave up. I threw in the towel, and man, did I enjoy eating and just being and not worrying what was going in my mouth. However, this past year, I wasn't sleeping well. And obviously, because I wasn't feeding my body healthy foods and moving in healthy ways as much, I did and I didn't. Anyways, so I pretty much, my mind threw in the towel. I was done. I was like, I am done with you. And I thought I would just maintain the weight that I was at then. But recently, I stepped on the scale. I didn't want to. I knew for a fact that things weren't fitting the way they were before. But I decided to step on the scale. Partly because I had this aha moment where I realized that I didn't actually think I was eating enough calories. Because I do intermediate fasting and things. That's still part of my thing. Like, I never gave that part up. I just stopped caring about, mindful eating, really. And mindful eating and mindful, like, what I was putting in my body and how I was treating my body between sleep, sugar, and stress. Yes, I did some of it, but not consistently. Anyways, so I decided to I was like, okay, I looked at what my BMR is, which means, what amount I should be eating just to stay, my body needs for functioning. And this is, again, not a weight loss episode, so I don't want to get into too many details. However, I want to share something behind this story because for years I did count calories, and I really was like, I want to say anal. I was anal about counting calories. Yeah, I was like, oh, I can eat this chocolate bar. Dale just won't eat something else. So when I talk about calories, I'm coming from a place of love to better understand what's going on underneath the surface. I hate counting calories. Okay, maybe not hate. I'm not a big fan, and I don't think we should live life like that. However, to understand how much I was feeding my body and get an understanding what the amount I should put into my body is, I had to look at it a bigger picture. I hope that makes sense. So I finally realized how many calories I need to function in a day. Because honestly, calories were something I haven't done in years. I'm like, no, I'm not a big fan because they're not all equal. And it's only one part of the equation of a healthy body. Stress, sleep, all that sugar, less sugar. Anyways, so I looked at it and I realized that I was way under eating. Now, not every day, obviously. Weekends, I indulge a little bit more. But I was like, whoa, so no wonder nothing was working. I was in starvation mode. So I actually jumped on the scale. I didn't want to, but to have the right numbers for my BMR, I wanted to have the right number because ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is not knowing where you're at. So I knew that I didn't like that number on the scale. I knew for a fact it wasn't going to be there. Now, this is where hopefully you can relate. If weight loss is not a thing, I apologize that this is, going this way. But there's a deeper story here. So I'm sharing a struggle with you, and there's some really beautiful lessons that have come out of it. So I had to send myself love because the scale and I have not had a really good relationship. So I was really like, okay, this is a tool. This number that I'm going to see only tells me where my body's at right now. And that's it. It has nothing else. It's just a number. So I sent myself love. This is a very loving, a really deepening relationship with myself. Because again, I have never had a really good relationship with counting calories or the scale. So I'm embracing these areas of my life that I've hated or that have hung, that have made me realize or made me feel like I wasn't worthy enough, right? If I step on that scale and I'm, lower, yay me. And if it went up, no, what are you doing kind of thing. I had to release the negativity towards these things. So if weight loss is not your thing and you're like, oh boy, why are we talking about this? Look at it this way. Is there something in your life where you're holding negative connotation where it could just be information? So for me, the scale is just a number. Oh my goodness, so I hated it. And I'm gonna be completely honest here. I cried. Even though I knew the number would be higher than I was before a year ago. I cried. I'm also going to tell you that I gained 20 pounds. 20 pounds in a year. Holy crap, Ola. So let's go back to never give up. Now, I had to, holy crap, love myself hard that day because wowzers, I was not happy. I gave up on myself. And in turn, I gained 20 pounds. Now, I could have beat myself up. Actually, I think I had a little pity party, gonna be honest. Had a pity party. Poor me party. And then I realized, well, that's not gonna help. And I was frustrated. I was frustrated at myself for giving up. I was frustrated at my body. And then I had to remind myself, holy crap, my body's been amazing this year. So I sent my body some love. I placed my hands over my heart and I had a little conversation with my body. So where in your life have you been beating yourself up? Or maybe you've given up on yourself in an area. Maybe you were told when you were younger that you weren't smart enough. I know I did. I had that. And I had to overcome that. So I never thought I could do certain things because I was told I wasn't smart enough. But maybe you have different areas. Like for us, the women, we can be told that we can't do something because we're a woman. So I'm here today to remind you that you can do anything you want to, as long as you stop telling yourself it isn't possible. We need to rejig our thinking or rewrite our thinking and look at the beliefs that are behind it. I believe I shared this in another podcast episode a while back, but weight loss and body image has been a huge struggle for me a good chunk of my life. So this is something I'm still working on, and I'm being super transparent here and super real because it's a struggle I have. It's an area of my life that has been like a roller coaster ride. And it was just a little while ago that I shared, how I stopped loving my body. It was the missing piece. Once I started really loving my body again, I could look at it in a different way. So when we start loving ourselves more, we can look at things in our lives a different way. So never give up on yourself. Never, ever let somebody tell you that you can't do something, because you can. Now, maybe you're struggling and that isn't a good time to problem solve. Like maybe you're like for me, I was in such a state of frustration that I threw in the towel. And in what I could have done, now obviously I can't go back in time, would have loved to, but I can't. So it's learning from these things. And that's what really life is about, is learning about yourself, learning as you go, you stumble, you fall down, and you get back up again. So if you find yourself super frustrated, take a break, take a moment, change your environment, change your breathing, and hopefully you can learn from my mistake. And, and if you don't, it's okay. You fall, you dust yourself off, and you get yourself back up. Okay? It doesn't matter how many times you fall down as long as you keep getting back up. So I stumbled hard, and I am sharing these lessons with you today because I know how important you are. And I know you have something amazing to give this world. And I'm here to tell you, never, ever give up on yourself because you matter. And the world needs you. And so when you're feeling frustrated, and I'm going to try and remind this for myself when I want to throw in the towel, is when you're getting frustrated, just pause, slow it down, take a deep breath. And I'm not saying it might take more than a day. It could be a week off, because we can't problem solve when we're frustrated. We can't look at things clearly when we are so frustrated and angry and disappointed or depressed. None of those things work. So take a break. It can be like a vacation for your mind, or like it could be a staycation. So you're just taking a break from that goal or that dream for just a very short time. Could even be a month. I don't want to stretch it too far, because the longer you don't look at it, the chances are you just kind of let it go by. But take the time you need. It was so fun. I was baking with my son the other day, and, we made a mistake. And he's like, oh, mistakes are, everybody makes mistakes. You just gotta learn from them and keep going. Like, it's so beautiful. I love that my son is 6 and he already knows mistakes happen. Pick yourself back up. We were like baking and rolling the cookies out. And so it's just like, oh, I made a mistake. And then he just moved on. So we make mistakes. So if you've failed and failed and failed, try again. Maybe change it up a little bit so you're not doing the same thing over and over. Because in the definition of sanity, trying the same thing over and over and hoping to get a different result. So, we can change directions, change our attitude, change our thoughts, change our beliefs, and then step forward again and do differently. Once you know better, you can do better. So like I literally, when I realized I wasn't eating enough calories, I'm like, oh my goodness, seriously? I've been doing all these other things. And I didn't even think that maybe I wasn't taking in enough calories. Like most days I wasn't even eating 1,000 calories, but I was eating enough to be full. Like, I wasn't being mindful, right? So anything you do, bring your mindfulness into it. Be mindful of, your movements throughout the day, your mood, your thoughts, your beliefs, your energy, your emotions, your feelings. It's all connected. So I was feeling really frustrated and angry and upset. I had a lot of feelings. And I let those dictate me throwing in the towel. I could have stepped back. I could have journaled. I could have done so many different things, but I didn't. So now I learn, and I was like, I had so many tools in my toolbox for this moment. However, again, this is a tricky one in my life. I have a really, when I see the scale go back up, I really was disappointed. And I was working so hard. So if you've been working really, really hard on a dream or a goal, I got you. I understand how frustrating it can be, especially if you feel like you're sacrificing other things to get there. When we sacrifice things, then we feel like we're giving something up for something else. And then when it doesn't happen, we give up. So for me personally, I had to change my mindset. I wasn't giving up anything. I was gaining so much more, gaining my health back, my energy, just feeling so much better in my own skin. Because honestly, as my weight goes up, my energy level goes down. And it's really connecting to your why. So when you want to give up, reconnect to your why. Why do you want it? And that's what I had to do. And it's go deep with your why. Not just somebody said, I forget where I was reading this, but it shouldn't just be so you have more energy. It has to be really true to yourself. I could even be so I can fit it back into my jeans that I wore years ago, it's not that. It has to go deeper and deeper. Get right to the root. It shouldn't, it's not be it makes me feel happy. Go deeper and then really write out your why and have that your focus for when you want to give up on anything in your life. Keep going. And the beautiful thing is, luckily, like I said, it was in one area of my life. I've had lots of areas where I have not given up. But this is one that's been a struggle for me, I'll be honest. So I hope that this motivated you to look at things differently, to realize you don't have to throw the towel in or give up on yourself. You just need to shift directions or shift your thoughts. Do a little pivot. And who knows how close your dream is. It could be around the corner. We always feel like it's never going to get here. But it could literally be right around the next corner. But if we don't keep moving forward towards that goal, it will never get here. In fact, in my case, it went backwards. So give yourself some love today. Take a minute. Breathe in. Exhale it all out. You've got this. You're amazing. And like I said, you have amazing things to share with this world. So don't give up on yourself. I'm not giving up on you. Okay? Even if I gave up on myself for a little bit, it was only temporary. And I'm back. Loving myself on so many levels. And it's taking those moments and really, realizing how awesome you are. Because the bigger the fall, the harder it is to get back up. But when you do, the momentum from that movement, from falling down hard and getting yourself back up, can really skyrocket you towards your dreams, towards the life you're aiming for, towards, the awesomeness that you're looking for. So I hope this helps. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.